Warm greetings. Josie here with my most beloved ancestors and counsel to assist in our continued contemplation and exploration of the Major Arcana. And what is the card for us to connect with today? Okay. The Devil. I was wondering when we would get to it. The Devil card. Probably feared, revered, all of the things. And I ask, may you tread gently with this message, for of course, much arises in the naming of these arcana. Much arises in how they have been capitulated for centuries past, so to speak, right? Like some of the things that might bring up are, of course, your own connection, potentially in your own religious teachings of like what you feel to be good and what you feel to be evil. And of course, then when you access the devil, right? It's like there's a natural fear because then you're like, uh-oh, I'm not connecting to the good within this tarot deck. I'm connecting to the bad. But of course, interestingly enough, earlier today, there was a remembrance of this parable, of a fisherman that got this massive bounty of fish. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, so many blessings abound, so much good. And then they're like, well, is it? Maybe. And then something bad happens. And so then they're like, oh my goodness, so much bad, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, well, is it? Maybe. And then something good happens. So know that like that cause and effect, like there's something in this of like, don't let this card get you down. Don't feel like you're all of a sudden like pivoting or pummeling or like just dropping into some pits of despair. This is an immense card that asks you to break free of some of those old things that you have carried with such tenacity and such care for so many years or so many seasons or so many decades of your life, that may feel that they are chaining or restraining your good works forwards. The symbolism in this card is intense. The symbolism in this card is quite immense, and it will bring up lots of fears and shadows to the yard. And so then we feel that the shadows are insurmountable, like that there is no way for you to conquer those fears, no way for you to move beyond those uncertainties or the discord that might come up within this card. Let yourself feel that discord. Let yourself feel that discomfort. For you are so close. There is something in this card going, you are so close. You are prompted. You have the strength. You have the tenacity. You have the capacity to move beyond what is chaining you, inhibiting your progress, inhibiting the combustive, transmutative work that can be done within. This is deep, as we know with the Major Arcana, deep mental process, deep emotional work. Whew. But what I ask you, on top of course, seeing all the fearful things, right? Seeing all the scary things that might bring up uncertainty, to see that there is a little clue here that what chains you or what is blocking your ability to speak further creations into existence, further things to manifest within your life You are so close. They are connected to this door. Do you see? This door that is guarded by the beast, that is guarded by the thing most feared. This is kind of like that work in psychology. Carl Jung speaks of like facing the dragon, right? Facing the dragon. And sometimes people might then think it's like facing I know what it is that I must face. I will face my ego. There's almost an awareness sometimes of even like the Insta and the TikTok spiritual community of like, giving you like definitions of what shadow work is. So then you're like, I know what shadow to face. I know how to do that. And there is something that is prompted in this card that it just may be a little beyond your knowing, or a little beyond the presupposition, the things that you, again, like back to that parable, right? That you think are known and you're capable then of moving through it. They're suggesting that even those things that are presupposed might actually be the things that are chaining you, that are inhibiting you from and keeping you almost like that door locked, right? The next access level locked, so to speak, in like gaming speak. It's like that if you follow that chain, if you follow the things that you think you know, you're going to then soon get towards some links that feel most difficult. Some links I'm almost like feeling that they might feel like you're swimming deep down into the depths of the murky waters. And then you see almost like this metal rusted link that you know what I mean? And you're like, this is the end. This is the end of it. And they're like, no. You pull that link up and you access a door. You access more. You access something more beyond those presupposed consternations and degradations and all the things that we put ourselves through, the raking up through the coals of like thinking that, I am self-flagellating. I am, what are those words? Like I am self-harming, self-inflicting. This is like all my self-sabotage. And so then we, again, so know what it is. Like it could be that you're like, it's that bad habit I have that I must break. It is that, do you see what I mean? These presupposed ways of accessing purity of the soul, of accessing the integrity of your whole, right? Those are some of the links to move through when this card comes. And I'll give an example of like if you were, continuing to move through with these teachings of like that, you must raise your vibration. And so then you go, okay, so then I must change my diet to have a higher vibration. I must change all these things that to have this like extended and heightened vibratory rate. And then, all those things that I do to deal with shit, be it the smoking or the drinking or all those things that have been told as vices, right? Then that must be the thing that is holding me back. That is the thing that is like making, you know what I mean? This crack, this fissure in my progress in life. And so woe is me, I will either have to completely change and alter my courses of actions, correct all of my vices and, you know what I mean? Like things that I feel that are holding myself back, or was it something in the initial teaching that was cracked? Is it something within that initial mental thought, right? That thought that you are impure, wrong, evil, bad, all of that shit. That's the stuff that is asked to sort through. And then as you sort through those link by link, gently over time, right? Sometimes this might come really swift and then you feel like you have to, oh my goodness, I have to process it really quick. But this is gentle chew of things that maybe you have been chewing on and deciphering through, it could be a longer amount of time, That's things that have maybe percolated, like, or gotten stronger and more powerful, just like a fine wine. Some things that you then have to kind of go, is it that thought? Is it that mindset? Is it that perspective or perception of me, of I, that actually I can release and break free from? And if I allow that breaking free of those chains that I have allowed to bind me unnecessarily, then what is beyond that, right? What is through that door? Do you see now where the fear arises? Because you're like, we spend so much time deciphering or trying to break or unlink the chains. And instead they're like, well, move through those chains as much as you can. Make the changes that you so wish to do within your life. Make them. Do them. Good for you. Good on you. But what is beyond that? What portal, what opening, what awareness comes from that work? And even you can take this word and switch it around, give it like almost a mirror. Lived. What has lived in me that is not necessary or not necessarily my living, like my life, right? My life essence. Maybe what has lived in me is something that has chained or bound me from society. Maybe that's something that has lived in me that has chained me and bound me from presupposed suppositions from my family. Maybe something that has lived in me that I am just continuing to do, and I feel that it is such a monstrosity. I feel the beast of it, but I feel that that is my lot in life. That is the thing that I just must do because that has served you in some way, shape, or form through many difficult times before. Whew. So, when the devil arises to give you some guidance in this deck, honor that beast. There's like this child's book that's coming to my memory to share at this moment, of like this, that it was this kid that had to face this dragon and then realize that they would look into the eyes of that dragon and see all of their fears played. And if they almost got like enveloped by those fears, if they looked away, right, then the dragon would win and get stronger and stronger and stronger. But if they looked into those and then like grieved them, released those fears, knew that they were not true, and that they did not have to all occur, that dragon then would turn into like the softest, littlest pussycat and all their power would go away. So there is something about looking into that space and going, what do I fear has been limiting me, holding me back, chaining me onto this regular outcome or this presupposed outcomes of things that I feel that I'm a bad person because of this, or I need to change or alter my ways. And it's like, maybe it is those thoughts, those feelings that are continuing on repeat, that are limiting and holding you back from opening that next door. So, deep breaths, much guidance, much light. Allow that your light inside and your heart to be bright as you gently traverse through what comes prompted in this card. And maybe you'll see that those chains aren't as strong as you thought, that they can compost and even dissolve with breath, with rest, with care, and just looking a little bit there at those things that you haven't wanted to look at. This does prompt also some immense work that you might need assistance with. So if things are arising that feel like they're making you self-combust, just honor that you can connect. You can connect with someone to support you through this. Receive an ancestral guidance reading, I'm here. Or even with another beloved practitioner. Help is here. You do not always have to face the darkest places and spaces alone. Your beloved ancestors are there to hold you close and to maintain and keep you safe as you step closer and closer towards that ring. And potentially then give a knock knock and see what is beyond those fears, beyond those fears that have been ingrained and grooved in deeply. You are close. You are close to this shift if this card comes. Big breaths, big hugs, and much courage to step just a little beyond what you may have faced before. And know that in the strength of your heart, in the immensity and the care and the love that you carry, that you can do this work, or else it would not come. Thank you. Take care.